Welcome back to the channel, guys. This week we're just going to do a quick update of things that are going on here ahead of BTS. So we have B.T.S Show on the 19th, this coming Sunday, the British Tarantula Society annual show up at the Warwickshire Event Centre or Exhibition Centre. Brilliant show, really looking forward to it. Going to be working alongside and helping out, volunteering, whatever you want to call it, Jeremy at Jeremy's Wild World. The stand that we have for the day is up at the top level by the front doors. Along the end, we're opposite where the BTS merchandise stall is, so if you know the way the layout BTS is, we're going to be up that top corner. Really looking forward to it. Brilliant show, and the weekend as a whole is absolutely fantastic. So going up on the Saturday, spend Saturday evening with a load of good friends, and then we hit the show all day Sunday. Hectic, but it'll be a welcome relief to normal life. So I do want to apologise about the video not coming out this last week. Basically, we've had energy supply issues at the house, and it has taken its toll on myself and everyone else involved. We've had gas engineers in here a few days, and it's just been an absolute nightmare. We're going to start off doing a little bit of a feeding video and having a look at some of the spiders, and then maybe we will be able to fit in, depending on time, there might be something special at the end of the video. So let's start off with our GBB. GBB is our first spider that we've ever got, and he is starting to look like he is deciding to call it a day. He's not eating very much, and he's still moving, quite active, but his abdomen's starting to shrink down. He ate a small dubia a few weeks back, but I've been giving him some pre-kill like mealworms and various other diet sort of like choices, and he's not eating much. So he's matured quite a while ago. It'd be sad to see him go. He's our first spider. And he's been a brilliant pet, so we'll have to see what goes on with him. Second of all, we'll have a little quick look at the frog. Not sure if the frog's going to eat or not today. He seems quite chunky and miserable, as they all do, the Pac-Mans. But he's currently sort of, I think he's waiting to poop. Probably needs to be cut down on his food intake a little bit, volume-wise, when he's actually eating each week. So anyway, that's the frog. It does look beautiful. He's got some amazing colorations, but I don't think he's going to eat today. I did get a little bit of haddock out for him today. He's not really showing much interest, so we're not going to pester him. We'll just leave him be, let him do his own thing. So we're going to turn the camera around, and what we're going to do is we're going to grab some of the spiders that have molted over the last few weeks for their first feeding time this week. So we've got some that are due feeds from, like, they molted 2 weeks ago, some 3 weeks ago, and the smaller ones slightly more recently than that. We do give them like 10 to 12 days or whatever if they're slings, or grown on slings. Slightly less if they're tiny slings. Obviously the larger the spider gets, the longer we leave it. We've got spiders that have shown no interest 2 months after they've molted, so we'll see which ones we can get interested in some food. Today we're going to be using some mealworms and some dubias, depending on the size of the spider, and we sort of like swap between the two. So they might get a baby dubia the week before, they might get a mealworm, they might get a morio, they might get not necessarily crickets, but we vary the diet a little bit anyway. So let's spin the camera around, let's have a look at some spiders, shall we? So first up, we've got our Apophysis, the Theraphosa. This one should take down some prey. Molted not so long ago, probably about 14 days now, and we'll just give it a small prowl, see if it's interested, shall we? Where did that land? Sorry dude, that one landed on your head, didn't it? Well, you've got it anyway. Nice takedown, regardless. Next up we have the absolutely gorgeous Theraphosa blondie. This one is a lovely spider. Again, we'll see how this one goes. This one molted probably about 14 days ago as well. I'll have a look and see if this one's interested in food, shall we? Not dropping it on its head. Never any doubt with this one. Always eats. Always a good feeding response. Absolutely stunning spider. Even if it doesn't like being on camera. Next up is a Tarantula.Rookie. This one may not eat. It's a little bit funny with its food. It did recently molt, so we can only hope that it does fancy some food today. This one hasn't had food in about 85 days, something like that. We'll give it a small prey item and just see if it's interested. See if we get a takedown. Okay, prove me wrong. Well, it's dived on the food, but it hasn't taken it yet. We'll see if it moves. Absolutely stunning colours on this Alba-Pelosis though. Really, really rich colours on this one. Sometimes they look a little faded, but this one is an absolute gorgeous looking spider. Well, eventually a takedown. Next up we have a very underrated spider, extremely common but absolutely gorgeous nonetheless, and this is our Lasiodora parehabana, the LP, and this one's going to get a bit of a male dubia, so we'll see if this one's going to take this down. Hopefully it will. Hopefully the dubia is not going to run off. Lovely spider, absolute staple of the hobby. Gorgeous, gorgeous thing. And even though this one did only molt recently, its backside is still rather large, but it needed a feed after a molt. Lovely spider. Right, now we've got the Carapuensis. See if she will eat. Well, that's a yes. This is the Avic Metallica, or the Avic Morph 6, I believe. Metallica sounds better, doesn't it? See if this one wants to eat. See if we can coax him out. Interested? You are? There you go. Another stunning species of spider. Despite the fact it doesn't want to play ball and be on camera, it's going to go and hide up in its little tiny web sock, which does go all the way from the front to the back. But it's made an impressive webbing up there, to be fair. Beautiful. Right, another one checked off the list. And that was all that we managed to film feeding wise. There was a lot more that we fed here that night, but unfortunately I didn't manage to film them all. It got very, very late, and most of them were slings anyway, so you wouldn't have seen too much apart from me take lids off pots, put chopped up food inside, and then close the lids. What I did do was attempted to pair a couple of spiders. I'll show a little bit of the footage, but there's not really much to sort of say about them. We had a little bit of tapping from the first pairing that I did, which was the Thrixopelma purians, and those spiders, I wasn't sure whether she was going to be receptive again. They were paired a little while ago, but the female was tapping the last few days, and I thought, well, I'll go and see if she wants the male again, but I don't know whether that was just her tapping for no reason. The male wasn't very responsive. He did start to shake a little bit today when we was pairing them, but there wasn't too much sort of going on. She wasn't very receptive, and every time they got close to each other they decided to just go in opposite directions all of a sudden. So the pairing was not successful. I didn't want to risk him too much, so put him away, put her away, and gave them both a feed. The next pairing that I tried after that was the Salmopius reduncus. I got a mature male that was like I've grown from a sling that was gifted to me by Steve Thornton a long time back, and he's a matured male, and Chris had loaned me his female to get the pairing done here. I thought I'd give it a go, and as I started to pair them, she was not interested. She ate last night, and the male was just bolting around all over the place, not interested in going anywhere near her enclosure. And when they did start to get close, she went up in a threat posture and just stayed in her threat posture for quite a while, and I did not want him to just be munched needlessly, so I decided the best course of action, as he wasn't tapping at all, was to put them away, feed them both, let him have some more food, see if he was going to produce another web, and then we'll take it from there. And I think actually while I'm recording this, yep, he's currently upside down, and I'll try and get some footage. He's currently upside down doing another sperm web, so maybe today's efforts were a good indication of the fact that he wasn't quite ready and wanted to sort of load up again. I'm pretty sure he'd already made a sperm web, but this one he's up doing it again, so I presume he's loading up. So that's a good sign for potentially pairing towards the end of this week before I go to BTS. The reason I didn't film most of the feedings, the sling vials, was as I was going through a lot of that, there was no BT, one of my Makumi, partially molted, and I had a closer look and realised it wasn't molting still, it was stuck, and this wasn't good. I'm not going to show any of the pictures because they're quite horrific to have a look at, but I spent probably the next 2 to 2.5 hours actually trying to help the little tiny guy out of his molt. It was an ordeal, absolute ordeal. There was 7 legs, one had already been dropped, but trapped inside were still 4 legs, and those 4 legs that I've managed to brush out, water brush, water brush, water brush, and then very carefully cut the old parts of the molt away so that the legs were the only thing that were still left to be freed, and gradually brushed them off. All those legs have come out extremely bent. The issue with the spider was the fact that it had, where it had molted, it had fallen off its web matting and gone down the side of its cork bark between the edge of the enclosure and the cork, and so there wasn't any room, and so it just got itself trapped. Sad part is, as I was trying to help it out of its molt, it kept trying to run off on my desk, so I had this OBT running across my desk with a molt trapped to it. Wasn't going very far or very fast, and yeah, that's why it took a long time to do. It is free now, but chances of the spider in the state it's in surviving, I'm not very hopeful, but we'll see. We'll see. We know after the story of Legolas that miracles do happen, but I think, if truth be told, I will probably have to remove 5 legs from this spider, and again leave me with a 2-legged spider. But we'll see about that. Anyway, BTS is this weekend. as I said at the start of the video, up at the Warwickshire Event Centre or Exhibition Centre. I'll be with Jeremy on his stand. If you are going to BTS, please do come and say hello. It'd be lovely to see anyone who sort of follows the channel. We'll have beanies, stickers, and obviously all Jeremy's True Spider stock and other goodies. So come and say hi. If you're there the night before BTS, come and say hi as well. Anyway, we'll catch up with you later. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the show if you're there. We'll catch you later. Cheers, guys.